Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeTune.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in your earbuds, adjust your speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What's Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time-sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the October 23rd, 2023 episode of Second Cup. Great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. It's a great morning. We are really into the fall season here. As I sit here looking out the window, the trees are changing colors. The colors are bursting forth, and it is gray, cloudy skies with these beautiful rays of sunshine breaking through, illuminating various patches of the colors of the trees. It's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful, cool autumn morning from where I'm sitting right now. Absolutely beautiful, and I hope it's beautiful weather where you are this morning. Hey, what do you got this morning? Once more, I'm using Copper Moon Coffee, the Southern Pecan that viewer Kevin Weiss very, very kindly sent to the channel. Boy, is this good. And it's right up there with the Texas Pecan coffee that viewer Beth Jones sent to the channel. And there's something about that pecan flavor and aroma that just wakes up your senses in the morning. I've got a cup right here in my Kellogg's Cereal City coffee mug, Battle Creek, Michigan. Man, oh man, hang on 1 minute. Oh boy, is that good. What a great cup of coffee this morning. And again, the aroma just fills the room. It is just absolutely delicious. You have got to try either of these. They're both very, very good. Copper Moon is very, very good, the Southern Pecan, as is the Texas Pecan by Cafe Au Lait. So my thanks again to Kevin Weiss and Beth Jones both for sending along these coffees. Absolutely splendid, splendid coffees. It'll kick your morning off in a great, great way. And again, I'm just looking out, and the sun is breaking through. Again, it's just illuminating these just beautiful colors that are bursting forward. There is a gray palette in the sky in the background, but the sun is coming through and just illuminating the trees. And you can just see these beautiful orange and reds. Oh, it's just, yeah. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful autumn morning. How you doing this morning? Thanks again for tuning in the Second Cup podcast, which reminds me to tell you once again, we mentioned this on the Monday Morning Mailbag this morning, the Second Cup podcast and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast are both available on YouTube now. Absolutely. I was so delighted and excited to find that podcast tool on my YouTube channel. And I was able to import all of those podcasts, all the previous podcasts, into that podcast area of YouTube, where they can now be listened and called up by any of the subscribers, viewers out there. If you just want to listen to audio only, either in the Monday Morning Mailbag or listen to the Second Cup podcast. And moving forward, since the YouTube allows me to tap into the podcast feed, the RSS, which stands for Real Syndication Services, I think that's what it stands for. I'm not entirely sure. I might be incorrect on that. But anyhow, it allows me to tap into that code, so to speak, and bring those podcasts in when they are ready to air every Monday. So you'll hear the podcast, the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast and the Second Cup podcast will be available at the very same time on YouTube as they are available on the other streaming services that the podcasts go out to, like Anchor, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, that sort of thing. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm just having a great time putting together the podcast and working with all these great digital audio tools. It has been an absolute delight. And I guess that kind of gets my creative juices flowing because I can shift gears from doing video and audio in the Monday Morning Mailbag and kind of shifting to just audio only in putting together the Second Cup podcast and then converting the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast into audio only. It's been a real delight and a great creative journey. So I really appreciate you tuning in to listen to what I have to say because it affords me the opportunity to kind of stretch my creative muscles to create these podcasts. So I'm very, very grateful to you, the listener, the viewer, for tuning in to both the Monday Morning Mailbag in audio and video and also the podcast and the Second Cup podcast. Thank you so very, very much. Your listenership, your viewership allows me the opportunity to create these shows. So thank you very, very much. Now, just one more note on how to distinguish the difference between the Monday Morning Mailbag with full video and full audio versus the podcast version. Just look at the thumbnails, and if you see me holding a coffee cup with the current date of the Monday Morning Mailbag right there in the thumbnail, you'll know that you'll be viewing the video and audio version of the Monday Morning Mailbag. Now, if you see the George character in the thumbnail with the words podcast in the title, obviously it's going to say Monday Morning Mailbag Podcast. But looking at the thumbnail and just seeing George, that'll tip you off to the fact that it's the Monday Morning Mailbag Podcast audio only. And in looking at the Second Cup podcast, you'll see that cartoon character of a guy standing there holding a coffee mug, and you'll know that's the Second Cup podcast just by looking at the thumbnail. So just a little note on how to differentiate between the Monday Morning Mailbag full audio, full video versus the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast audio only and Second Cup podcast audio only. Well, great to be with you again. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. So wonderful to meet with all of you this morning. And again, I hope the weather is agreeable where you're at. It's a beautiful, beautiful autumn morning, and I'm so happy to be with all of you here. Gosh, it's just absolutely great. Look, let's pay a few bills, and then we'll get the show underway. Well, this morning I received an email from viewer Ashish Ahuja, who resides in India. And it's always great to hear from fellow wet shavers from around the world. I'm always just so amazed at the reach of the Second Cup podcast and the Monday Morning Mailbag and other reviews that I do on the channel. It's global. It's just absolutely amazing. I am just astounded by that the show and the channel reach the far corners of the earth to India, Germany, Italy, France, England, Australia, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and all around the world. It's absolutely fantastic. And of course, my thanks to all the viewers in the heartland of the United States of America, because I realize that's where the greatest number of viewers and listeners are. But it's always great to hear from viewers from around the world. It's just amazing that we can have this wet shaving conversation from fellow wet shavers who reside in different areas of the world. I'm just always amazed by that. Technology allows us to do this in an instant. It's absolutely wonderful. So my thanks to all the international viewers and listeners out there. I really do appreciate it. And again, thanks to the majority of listeners out there in the United States, in the heartland, United States, Canada, in North America, throughout North America and the English-speaking world. Absolutely fantastic having all of you tune in as well. Anyhow, Ashish wrote, "Hi, Mark. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to share an interesting idea I had involving a recent purchase I made. I bought a small earthen pot known as gulak, or a gulak. That's spelled Gulaak. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gulak. I bought a small earthen pot known as gulak during my trip to a small town in India. Traditionally, it's used by children as a piggy bank, and I thought it was a charming and eco-friendly purchase. However, as I examined it, I had an innovative idea. The space inside the gulak is perfect for repurposing as a blade bank. I plan to use it to store old, used razor blades. The capacity is sufficient for storing blades over 2 to 3 years, and when it's full, I'll seal it with the necessary disposable stickers and dispose of it responsibly. This idea not only serves the purpose of being in line with my hobby, but also helps in reducing plastic waste. It's my small way of saying no to plastic, and I'm excited about this eco-friendly initiative. Regards, Ashish Ahuja. Ashish, this is an absolutely wonderful idea, and when he describes it as an earthen container, an earthen pot, I'm assuming that it is made from some sort of ceramic. That's the appearance of it here, so it's not plastic. And it's about the shape of an apple. It has the similar shape to that of an apple with a slight little peak on top of it. And on the top, in front of that little peak, is a horizontal slot that's cut in where you would insert coins, or in Ashish's case, he'll insert razor blades. And it looks like it's fully sealed. That's the impression I get. I don't have a shot of I don't have a photo of the bottom of it, but it doesn't look like there's a removable bottom. That's my assumption, that once this is filled up, if you were using it as a piggy bank, then you would, crack it open and gather up all the money that you saved. That's my thought. But in Ashish's case, he would then just, as he said, tape it up with stickers and that sort of thing, and mark it used razor blades and dispose of it properly at a recycling center or wherever that is. And it's an absolutely great idea. We will be talking about this on the Monday morning mailbag. On this next Monday morning mailbag. I'll show you the picture, but I wanted to give you a heads up ahead of time because I thought it was an absolutely fantastic idea. Again, eco-friendly, and it looks like it is of a size where it will store a lot of blades. Now, when I say it's the shape of an apple, I'm assuming it's a little larger than an apple, but it is of that general shape. And it has an earth tone to it. It's not brightly colored. It is a rather muted earth toned kind of color. And it looks like it's just one of those items that will you could store in your shave den, on your counter, off in the corner, and it'll just kind of be there in the background. Kind of low key, not not very visible, but you'll know where it is. So if guests happen to come in, they're not going to notice it. And the fact that it's probably all sealed up, where you can't open up or get your fingers in there, that sort of thing, is another good feature of it, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, it's an absolutely great idea, Ashish. We'll be sharing this again on the Monday morning mailbag. Hopefully that'll be the October 30th episode of the Monday morning mailbag. I'm really excited to show this to you, and I'll get a little more information as to the actual makeup, the material that this is made from. I'm assuming it's some sort of ceramic. He describes it as a pot, so it does look like a pottery item. So thanks very much for sending this along, Ashish. So folks, if you're interested in this, do a Google search for the word gulak, Gulaak, and I'm sure a lot of photos will come up, and you might even be able to buy these, who knows, on eBay or Etsy. We'll investigate that a little further, and we'll have more information on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. So thanks again for sending this along, Ashish. Really, really do appreciate it. Now, if you saw the review on Louis Shave Soap that is exclusively available at the Wet Shaving Store this past Friday, you'll know that I used the Parker 78R razor. What an absolutely wonderfully mild, beautifully efficient razor that is. It really is a delight to use. And it's the kind of razor that if you want to increase the efficiency of it, just put in a sharper blade. I think my next shave with it, I'm going to put in a feather blade. Really, no kidding. It has that mild quality to it. That's how it impresses me. And it's got a great knurling on the handle that just gives you a fantastic, fantastic grip. It is a little more of a slender handle, but it just maneuvers so wonderfully well during the shave. Anyhow, we use that razor for the Louis Shave Soap shave review this past Friday. If you haven't seen it, please give it a look. I sure would appreciate it. And because of that, I was going through my notes and I came across an email from viewer Tim Whitcup regarding the Parker 78R, and I thought it would be a great time to share it with you. I don't know if I've shared it with you in the past. If I have, forgive me, but I don't think I have. And I wanted to read to you what he had to say about the Parker 78R. And he wrote, "Hey Mark, I bought the 78R based on your review and I love it. It's a mild shaver, but I love mild shavers. I have the 87R, which is, for me, kind of aggressive. I bought Cella soap. For me, it has a sweet cherry scent. I don't really smell almonds, but that's okay. I haven't tried it yet. I use Parasso Tube Refreshing, and it was exactly that, refreshing. I'm kind of upset with Amazon. The box was open and the tube was beat up like it had been squeezed. They won't accept returns, but I wasn't going to waste it. I also bought a Merkur 42C, but the head was missing. Crazy, right?" Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I would definitely get with Amazon, and I hope you did get with Amazon to express your displeasure with them, at least on that Merkur razor. I hope they sent you a replacement. Anyway, great shave with the 78R and Parasso Green Shave Cream. I also bought the Cella based off your review. I'll let you know how it goes. Tim Whitcup. Hey, Tim, thanks very, very much for that. Covering several items here, several topics, several wet shaving gear items. Let me just say that the Cella Shave Soap, this is Cella Red, I do get a little bit of almond, but I think you're correct. I think the cherry is a little more predominant in that scent. It reminds me of Christmas cookies. A lot of wet shavers say the same thing. It reminds them of Christmas cookies. And that certainly is a great scent as we head in towards the holiday season. Absolutely fantastic. So that's a good one to pull out of your shaving den and use for a shave in the coming weeks and months. Cella Red. It does have that sweet cherry almond. I don't want to say sweet cherry almond scent. It is absolutely terrific. Think Christmas cookies. Really, it really is fantastic. Parasso Green is absolutely fantastic. I love using it. It's refreshing, absolutely. But I'm so glad that the 78R is working for you. Again, it's a really mild yet nicely efficient razor, and you can increase the efficiency simply by putting in a sharper blade. And that's what I plan to do with my next shave. As I mentioned, I'm going to pop in a feather blade or a similar blade of similar sharpness. It is a really, really very, very good razor. Now, this razor was introduced to me by viewer Jamie Horn. He happened to get one and he wrote me and said, "Mark, you've got to try this razor." The razor head is shaped a little differently than most Parker razors. It's a little different, and the end tabs of the razor blade are enclosed in the razor head. The razor head has a nice thin profile, but again, the shape really affords for maneuverability. And I really, really enjoyed my shave with it. Again, if you want to see it in action, check out this review I did of Louis Shave Soap this past Friday. And you can get a good look at the Parker 78R. And if you're looking for a good, mild razor, or if you're a beginner wet shaver and you're looking for a good, solid three-piece razor that has a nice, mild quality to it, but affords some nice efficiency, check out the 78R. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with it at all. Again, just remember, 30 degrees, a light touch. Let the razor do all the work, gentlemen, because that equation absolutely works with the Parker 78R. It has a nice maneuverability and it has the right amount of heft to allow the razor to do all the work. It really is a terrific, terrific razor, and it comes in at a nice price point. And from time to time, you'll see these Parker razors on sale on Amazon and also on their website itself. So when you're looking for the Parker 78R, keep a lookout for a potential sale or a discount coupon, something like that, right there on the product page. It really is a wonderful, wonderful razor. And my thanks to Tim Whitcup for sending along this email and telling us what a great experience he had with the Parker 78R. Again, it popped up on the radar because we just recently used the Parker 78R in our review of Louis Shave Soap. Oh, yes, and the Parker 78R is available at the Wet Shaving Store. So you can get up there and acquire a Parker 78R as well. So my thanks again to Tim Whitcup for passing this along. Really do appreciate it, Tim. The Parker 78R, a really nice, mild yet efficient razor. We'll have links below. Now, speaking of razors, I wanted to give you a heads up on a review we're doing of a brand new razor that came into the Shave Den courtesy of viewer Jimmy Day. This is the TRC stainless steel razor, available exclusively at the Razor Company. What an absolutely marvelous razor. Now, Jimmy Day purchased this from the Razor Company, and he found it to be a little too mild for his tastes. I'm reviewing it this Wednesday. I found it to be wonderfully efficient. I don't believe it's as mild as he may have thought it was. However, your mileage may vary. I'm a fair-skinned individual, so some razors that come across as being too mild for some wet shavers come across as being a little more efficient when I use them. However, the bottom line is it's a wonderfully smooth razor that has some wonderful efficiency to it, and I really did get a great, great shave. So check out the review that's running this Wednesday. Of course, we reviewed the aluminum version. That was very kindly sent to the channel by, I believe, viewer Alex Lopez. So my thanks to Alex for very, very kindly introducing the channel and all the viewers to the TRC razor. The aluminum version is absolutely wonderful. It has a nice light weight to it. And of course, the razor head does all the work. That's what's so amazing about some of these aluminum razors that I've used. Even though they're a little more lighter in weight, the efficiency is just as good as some of the heftier counterparts. And that's what I found with the TRC stainless steel razor. That additional heft really does help the shave. But as far as the efficiency between the aluminum version and the stainless steel version, it's negligible. Really, really wonderful, wonderful razor. Now, here's what they have to say on the product page regarding the stainless steel razor from the Razor Company. A smooth yet efficient razor that can deliver an irritation-free shave without sacrificing comfort and durability. That is absolutely spot on. They go on to continue here. Extra large rinse ports in the base plate ensure easy rinsing and no clogging. I found that to be absolutely true of both versions, the stainless steel version and the aluminum version, but that is an absolutely fantastic feature. Tight tolerances provide an excellent blade clamping and no blade chatter. Covered blade tabs provide a premium look and feel. Yeah, the end tabs of the razor blade are enclosed in the razor head. Another really, really nice feature. Here are the specs. The blade gap is 0.76. Blade exposure is neutral. The handle material is 304 stainless steel. The head material is 304 stainless steel. The complete razor weight is 104 grams. The handle length is 3.5 inches or 89 millimeters. The handle diameter is 12 millimeters. And the standard thread is M5 by 0.8. It has a bead blast finish. Absolutely wonderful. And as they write here, in noting the aggression level of the razor, they are saying 5 out of 10. Our testers agree this razor would be considered medium yet efficient with minimum blade feel. And I found that to be very, very true. It's right there in the Goldilocks range. You know, it's not too aggressive. It's not too mild. It's right there in the middle. That's the way that's how I experienced it. It reminds me of the original Vikings Blade Chieftain. I always called that the Goldilocks razor, right there in the middle. Not too aggressive, not too mild, just right. And it's 100% made in the USA. The TRC stainless steel razor is 100% made in the USA. And the packaging is also made in the USA. Comes in at a really, really nice price point for all of that. So check it out this Wednesday, the review of the TRC stainless steel razor. That's coming up this Wednesday, and we'll be talking about it again on the following Monday morning mailbag. I wanted to run the review first before we introduced it on the Monday morning mailbag. That's just the way things got scheduled this time around, but I'm really excited for you to get a look at it. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup this morning, giving you an early heads up on a review that's running this Wednesday. The TRC stainless steel razor being reviewed this Wednesday on the channel. So my thanks to viewer Jimmy Day, and we'll have the links below. Now, before I get out of here, I want to recommend a book to you, especially to those of you who have been wanting to start a podcast. And the name of the book is NPR's Podcast Startup Guide: Create, Launch, and Grow a Podcast on Any Budget. This is by a gentleman named Glenn Weldon, and it's an absolutely wonderful guide to all things podcasting. I received this book as a Christmas gift from my nieces, Bryn and Kelly. And it has a lot of great useful and creative information inside its pages. And I discovered that a lot of what they suggest and recommend, I have been doing naturally and organically just from doing this podcast. So my first recommendation would be, if you want to do a podcast, just do it. Just jump into the deep end of the pool and start creating podcasts. This book will also help fill in a lot of the gaps and answer a lot of questions you might have about podcasting. The other element I wanted to mention to you is a program that you can download for free called Audacity. A-U-D-A. Let me see how it's spelled again. Yeah. How is it spelled? Wait a minute. I'm using it right now. It's spelled A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. Audacity. That's what I use to record all my podcasts and to convert the Monday morning mailbag from audio and video to just audio for the podcast. It is absolutely free, it's open source, and it's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. As a matter of fact, that's where I first discovered it, when I was running Linux. Anyhow, there are a lot of great tutorials on YouTube on how to use Audacity, and it's a very, very good audio editing program that will allow you to put together a podcast. But those are the two things I want to recommend to you if you want to start a podcast. Get NPR's Podcast Startup Guide: Create, Launch, and Grow a Podcast on Any Budget by Glenn Weldon, W-E-L-D-O-N. It's available on Amazon, both in Kindle and audiobook format. I also have the hardback edition, which I really enjoy going through, reading and perusing. And again, a lot of great creative suggestions there, and they pull a lot of their information from the actual folks who are creating podcasts for NPR. And of course, Audacity, a great program that will allow you to record your podcasts. So those are the two elements I wanted to mention to you. The book by NPR, by Glenn Weldon, NPR's Podcast Startup Guide, and the Audacity program to record all your podcasts. And again, just do it. You're going to make a lot of mistakes when you first start out, but you find that the more you do it, the more you'll learn from your mistakes and correct. It's dynamic. It's a dynamic medium, meaning you're going to make some mistakes, but just through those mistakes, you'll get better and better and better and better. It's a lot like cartooning or drawing. The cartoonist Jeff McNelly once mentioned in a presentation that he gave all of us cartoonists that the key to cartooning is that everybody has 10,000 bad drawings inside them. The whole idea is to get rid of all those 10,000 drawings. Do all those 10,000 drawings and get them out of the way, and then you can start drawing all the good stuff. It's the same way with podcasting or creating any kind of content online, whether it be video, audio, a blog. You've just got to start doing it and make those mistakes and get all those mistakes out of the way so that you can start doing the good stuff and refining it and improving it and that sort of thing. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week, wrapping up the show. NPR's podcast startup guide and the program Audacity. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or a friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.